No, put it into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is that?
He's waiting for the camera, right? Oh wait, no. Oh my god.
Yeah.
He's like infinite. Wait, do it again, restart it.
Just like move it side to side. It looks like that
No,
one.
wait, but take it off.
I did that on Snap. I like connected my phone to the TV and then I did it on Snap. That was like the coolest thing.
Okay, so your AP exam is tomorrow, and yeah, so you guys can see it on YouTube because YouTube is gonna see the whole screen. So you just have to turn both speaker off, especially people online, especially people are faced here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the things, and also I'm gonna release a couple exams, multiple choice for you guys to practice. Once we finish talking about the things that we're gonna talk about, make sure you guys go back to study all the calc cheat sheet, which is I'm gonna post in a second. The calc cheat sheet is gonna be all the formulas and stuff like that. So just make sure you go in to do that. I'm gonna share my screen. So I'm gonna show you the calc cheat sheet. So this is the cheat sheet we're talking about. Can you guys see my screen, or can YouTube see my screen? All right, so the cheat sheet, we're going to talk about the cheat sheet. The calculus cheat sheet, this one, I will print it out and go back to annotate whatever stuff you need to do because there are things that you need to know here. We're going to go through them. You can write down whatever things you need to write down, but make sure you understand. You can actually, the cheat sheet is really nice. You can click into it. They can directly to take you there because you can say, for example, I want to know critical value points occur. Then you just click into that. They will take you to there.
No way.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So please download this. That way it's a good place to study what the things that you need to do when you see different things. So pretty much you're going to see all those happen tomorrow. You're going to have L-Hopper rule, you're going to have squeeze theorem, extreme value theorem. It has all the theorem in like one section. I cannot talk over you guys, please. I will give you a chance to talk. Okay, so pretty much, do you need anybody have this copy and need me put it up again? Do I need to put it up again?
Yeah, you should put it up.
Okay, so let me put it up again.
We love you, Mr. Ye.
Sure.
He loves us too.
Whatever.
Big wet kiss just for you.
I expect you to blow one back.
That was a nice one.
Well, he still laughs it off, but doesn't actually do it back.
I expect my reciprocation.
So here's the cheat sheet again. Okay, so the cheat sheet talk about a lot of things. So let me know if you have any questions. So this cheat sheet is posted on Edmodo. You can print it out. Like I say, print it out. Make sure you go through all those things that you need to understand. So let's start off on the top. General tips. Change your calculator to radians. Make sure. Okay. Every time you take a derivative, make sure you do the chain rule. Make sure you think about chain rules. Those are the things that people usually forget is a chain rule. You know, write it down the initial conditions. Initial conditions so important that everybody is gonna usually is a multiple choice. You have to use it. Usually it's a FRQ, depends on the parts. You have to use some type of initial condition. We can talk about that. Integral, which is area under the curve. That's the basic concept. Integral is equal to area under the curve. Derivative equal to slope or rate of change. Danny, can you stop, please? Okay, so plug in a value before you simplify. What I'm saying is, sometimes you want to, like, say, implicit derivative, right? And you take a derivative. You don't want to solve for dy dx. You want to plug in a value before you simplify because that makes your life easier. Does that make sense? Yeah. So those are the things I kind of give you hints. Don't simplify the arithmetic evaluation on FRQ if you don't have time. Guess what? Do not oversimplify it. Leave it alone. Come back and simplify this because you're trying to set up first to try to get maximum amount of points. I'm trying to help you to, like, this is all my experience of taking the test, and I take a lot of tests, and this is all the experience I have. Number line test is not a justification. On FRQ, number line test does not mean justification. What does it mean by justification? Means if I say, they say, can you find, they give you f prime of x, and can they find, let's say, maximum, relative maximum? You're going to say the justification is going to be, says the f prime of x changing from positive to negative. That is justification. Okay, at x equal to 2, that's justification. Or a table. If we ask you absolute maximum, minimum, you have to do a table. Table must including the evaluation of 3 different things. Endpoints, both endpoints, the front endpoint and last endpoints, and also the critical points. Table is good justification for absolute maximum min, AP greater. See, that's what we talk about. 3 decimal places if you're using calculator. Must use 3 decimal places. You can put down more if you have time. If you don't want to put down more, that's fine. If you round it wrong, they will not take points off. Must including units. Please, is something per hour. If you take a derivative again, it's going to be per hour square or per hour per hour. Does that make sense? Write down the first step. For example, f prime x equal to g of x, f prime x equal to 0, or undefined, v of t equal to 0. Just by writing down that, FRQ is going to give you points. Yeah. So please don't give up. Just write down something on each part. At least your first step, and you can go back and figure out whatever you needed to do in that step. But write down the first step. When particle at rest, what's that mean? Particle at rest means what? What's equal to 0?
Velocity is 0.
Velocity is equal to 0, right? Speed, you can say absolute value of v of t. That's a speed. So those are things that you can think about, those things that help you for everything. Look back to see if you need the original equation to find y values. And this happened on the question we did yesterday on the 2019 FRQ. You have to go back to plug in to find out the y values. Using calculator is necessary. Now, try to think a question without calculator. Yesterday, I gave a question to like 5 different students. And that question is on the calculator section, but calculator did not help them. They have to learn how to visualize things happen. Okay, we can give you that question for you guys to try. I know Franco and Chen and them try. So a lot of time it's not calculator, it's the thinking. The thinking is more important than calculator. So calculator is always coming second. When to the time that you know you see calculator? The time that you see the answer choice in decimals. Otherwise, do not touch your calculator because you don't need them. Even on 15 questions that you have in calculator, only 7 to 8 that need a calculator. So they say 15 questions is not really 15 questions. It's more like 7 or 8. So only 8 questions out of 45 questions you need to use calculator. Okay? Understand the e to the x graph. Guys, do you guys know how to draw the e to the x graph?
Yeah.
Okay, so something to do knowing understand the e to the x graph is limit x approaching negative infinity on e to the x is equal to what?
0.
0.
Yeah.
Limit x approaching to positive infinity is going to be infinity.
Yeah.
So they never can equal to 0. Also, natural log of x graph. You have to know the natural log of x graph because when limit x approaches 0 from the positive, it's going to be negative infinity. And limit x approaches infinity is going to be infinity. And those are the things that you need to know. Remember, pay attention. It's a pay attention to domain. Sorry, that's a typo. Pay attention to domain, especially when graphing. So on the FRQ, if they say 0 to 16, you need to change your window from x min from 0 to x max to 16. Does that make sense? So make sure you do that. Make sure you're solving for 0. So if I were to list one more things here, in order to find that solving the equation, the best way is to graph it. Set equation equal to 0 and look for x-intercept. Look for x-intercept. Okay? So those are the things that you need to know. Those are the tips. Definition of derivative. You're going to have one question on MCQ that's going to be like this. You're going to look at what is the f of x. The best way to look at f of x is actually look at the f of x plus h. Sometimes they ask you evaluation, they just replace that x with 2 or 2. Okay, so you just have to find f prime of 2. This is another definition of derivative. It's called alternative derivative. You can write it down if you want to. This is called alternative definition of derivative. Usually you just have to find the f of x and just take a derivative and plug in a. So those are the things that you need to know. Horizontal tangent, that means derivative equal to 0, or numerator of dy dx is equal to 0. Let me know if you have any questions. Vertical tangent is f prime of x equal to undefined, or denominator of dy dx equal to 0. Okay. Horizontal asymptote. Divide everything by highest degree to the numerator, but there was a couple different situations we talk about. I write down a couple times for you guys to think about. So let me see if I can import this file. And we do that in here. So that's the things I will add on. So let me see if I can import it. So let me share screen. Okay, hold on a second. Let me find calculus cheat sheet. Sorry, let me go to Emodo. So look through anything this is what you're going to study off from, because there's no reason to study question anymore. We can do more question later once we finish going over all the concept and you know where's each information at. This is a place to study. I promise you this one is a place to study. So I'm going to import this. Give me a second. I'm going to import open from another apps. Yes. Open on the calc. Create separate notes. Next. Import. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this part and I'm going to share through airplane. Oh, why? Okay, obviously I cannot do that. I don't know why. Why am I to share to Zoom? Okay, now I'm going to do that. So never mind. I have to share through there. Let me share through the screen. Scream. Okay, so horizontal asymptote, limit x approaching infinity, limit x approaching negative infinity. If it's inside the radical, Danny, can I talk over you again? If inside the radical, like you say, divided by bottom by x, divided by top by x squared, because the inside the things is inside the radical. We have a same situation happen later on. Average rate of change. Do not get confused with the average rate of change in the average value. Average value is 1 over b minus a of a to b f of x dx. This average height of area under the curve. So those are the things that you need to put very, very important things in there. Equation tangent line, you have to know this. Normal line, negative 1 over m. They haven't shown normal line for a while. I don't think they will show, but if they show, it just means perpendicular. M is derivative value. Can also be used tangent line approximation. Remember, when FRQ they ask you tangent line approximation, you just find the tangent line. Plug in the X value they want you to approximate. You're going to solve for Y, you're going to get it. Critical value, make sure f prime of x equal to 0. Also, as well as f prime of x is equal to undefined. Don't forget the undefined part. Okay? Finding absolute maximum and minimum. Now, this one, write it down on the side. The question could be asking you in the motion. It could have asked you furthest left and furthest right. Operating exactly the same way. Furthest left or furthest right, in terms of absolute maximum and min, in terms of motion, they're exact same question, just different words. Am I confusing you guys? Okay, so in the motion, sometimes you got a position, velocity, acceleration question. And sometimes they ask you, find the point that's the furthest to the right. That's the same thing. It's finding absolute maximum, not endpoint. Find the absolute maximum. So you have to judge, you have to do these three things. Evaluate endpoints, find critical values, evaluate critical point, and evaluate the endpoints as well, right? So you compare all three, do a table, and that's how you do a good justification. That's how you get a good grade on the AP exam. Inflection point occurs when f double prime of x equal to 0, but that doesn't mean that's inflection point. You have to do a number line test, make sure it changes sign from negative to positive, positive to negative. And this is the justification part. This is how you're going to do justification from f double prime of x greater than 0 to f double prime to less than 0 at x equal to 3. Now, possibly, you can have second derivative equal to 0 is not an inflection point. That means when you do a number line, it did not have a changing sign. That's why I say always do a number line.
So negative to negative, positive to positive is not an inflection.
It's not an inflection point. It's a candidate for inflection point, but it's not an inflection point. Am I going too fast?
No, you're good, sir.
No? Okay, meaning of f prime of x and f double prime of x. You should know this by now. If you don't know it, that's kind of like you are far behind. Meaning for f prime of x means increasing and decreasing if it's greater than 0, less than 0. First derivative test, you must have a justification like this, guys. This is a good justification right here, changing from f prime of c to f prime of c less than 0 at x equal to c. And that's the relative maximum if they want you to justify. So this cheat sheet including every details. Every details. This is what you need to look back now. See if you know how to do this. I will add something about cheat sheet later. Remind me something about absolute value. Second derivative test. F double prime of x changing f double prime of c is greater than 0 means that's a minimum. Why? Because it's a concave up. If it's a concave up, it must be a minimum. If concave down, it must be maximum. At C, C is a critical value. C represents critical value in this case. So that's the Karate Kid situations, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, paint the fence.
MCA.
Yo.
Absolute value.
Okay, absolute value. Okay. Anytime you see absolute value, think of it in terms of piecewise functions. So if you got absolute value x minus 3, think about when that x approaches 3, that means you have two functions. That means x approach 3 from the positive, it's going to be x minus 3. X approach to the negative side is going to be negative parenthesis x minus 3. Because negative parenthesis the whole thing. So think about piecewise. Anytime absolute value, always think in terms of piecewise. Okay? So that's something I'll put in this cheat sheet. Derivative. Well, you have to know the exponential rule. That's not exponential rule. So that's power rule. Let's just stand for power rule. The power rule, that's something you should know by now. Product rule, lefty, right, righty, left. Quotient rule, low d high minus high d low over low low. Chain rule. Cannot forget chain rule. Derivative of natural log of u is du over u. Derivative e to the u is eu du. That means you had to take a derivative of u. That's a chain rule. Trigonometry. You have to know all this basic trigonometry. Derivative of sine of x, cosine of x, tangent of x, cotangent of x, secant of x, cosecant of x. Inverse. You only have to know two. Inverse, you only have to know the sine inverse and tan inverse. You don't need to know cosine, although cosine is just negative. Tangent, cotangent is just negative of tangent, but you do not need to know cosecant and secant. Cross out cosecant and secant. That's not important. That will never show up. And trust me, it will show up tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. When I say that. No, every time when I say something, then it kind of show up next day. But I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm right.
So just say that easy questions are not going to show up. And that'll make them show up.
I like that. So we said the only ones we need to memorize
Arcsine and arctan.
are. What about cosine?
Huh?
What about cosine?
Cosine just is just negative of that.
Oh, see.
Okay, okay, remember, on AP exam, really want you to be able to break up things. If it's A to B, you can break up A to C, C to B, because C is between A and B. I have to write down C is between A and B. You can break up to two pieces. Now, if you change your boundary, you have to put a negative sign in the front. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Integration. X to the n plus 1 over x n plus 1, that's just general power rule. Integral of du over u is natural log of u. Make sure you do u substitution when you need it. And this seems like a lot on MCQ. Integration e to the u du is equal to e to the u plus c. I forgot a plus c right here. Okay. Integration of all simple integrations here. But it's missing something. It's missing integration of tangent and is missing integration of cotangent. Do you guys remember what's integration of tangent? You might want to write this down. What's integration of tangent? Yes. It's a negative natural log cosine of x. Negative natural log cosine of x.
That's for tangent, right? That is for tangent, right?
That's for tangent. Integration of tangent of x is negative natural log cosine of x. You can do u substitution, and you're going to find out, because sine of x over cosine of x, you just set u equal to cosine of x, and it's going to be u prime over u.
Wait, so integration of tangent x is negative natural log of cosine x?
Yeah, and the cotangent is going to be positive natural log of sine of x.
Negative natural log. Is it absolute value of cosine of x?
Yep.
Wait, absolute value, what?
Yeah.
Integration of tangent of x equal to negative natural log of cosine of x. You can do u substitution, you're going to get the same answer with the du over u plus c. Integration of sine of x is going to be, integration of cotangent of x is natural log of sine of x.
Oh. Wait, natural log of sine of x?
Yep.
For cotangent?
Yep.
What's c?
Yep.
What was that second word you said?
Cotangent.
Will they ever ask you something like integral of secant without secant squared?
Rarely. I won't worry about that. It's gonna be secant is natural log of secant of x plus tangent of x. Yeah, that's rarely. They might, but I don't think so. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much memorization. I don't think they will do that. The only part they will do that is MCQ, but they won't do that in FRQ. But MCQ, if they have enough concept to test, So they will not including that one. That's just a pure memorization.
I wasn't me. I was not me.
Okay, fundamental theorem in calculus. This part 1 is so crucial. Make sure you understand the part 1. The part 1, it could be f prime of x is equal to f of b minus f of a. The part 2, make sure you do that. But integration of b, sometimes b is going to be b prime, so you got to be careful with that. Okay, approximation. Those are trapezoid rules.
Wait, so what are the different approximations again? There's trapezoid, there's left hand.
It says right there. Okay, read it.
What's the last one?
No, I don't remember.
And he actually said it.
He actually
He said middle end.
That's a fat L, sir.
He said.
That's a fat L, sir.
He said middle end.
Just kill me, please. Just kill me.
I'm never.
I'm gonna go climb out the second floor, and Benji can push me out the second floor.
I'm never letting.
Just go like this.
Just like I threw you threw your phone last year, I'm gonna throw you.
Just throw me out
I'm
of.
never letting you forget that, sir. That you said middle end.
Just throw me out of. Just throw me out.
And middle end.
Okay, so yesterday we actually kind of talked about this. The endpoint of approximation, when it's over approximation, when it's under approximation. Start to talk about tangent line approximation. If you have double derivative is less than 0, so it's concave down. So it's concave down, your tangent line is going to be above. And it's concave up, is going to be tangent lines below, so it will be under approximations. Now, first for the right endpoint and left endpoints, it really depends on increasing or decreasing. Okay? But there is one more thing yesterday we talked about. Trapezoid depends on concavities. Trapezoid, write it down. I didn't have it here. Trapezoid depend on concavity. If it's concave up, it's going to be over approximation. If it's concave down, is under approximations. Yeah, so you can draw it, right? Draw it really easy. Just concave up, right? Concave up like this. Now, when you draw a trapezoid, it's going to be over. Does that make sense? When you have a concave down, when you draw a trapezoid, it's going to be under approximation. And always, you can take a picture of that or draw it on your things.
So,
Trapezoid rule really depends on concavities. Okay, if it's you can draw it. Draw a concave up, right? Draw a concave up. Here, let me try to draw it. I'm gonna show you in a second. Let me show you here. If I draw like this, concave up, right? And between A and B, right? Between A and B. Therefore, if I draw the trapezoid, it's gonna be over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you see that's over? And if you got A and B, right, and it's concave down, then it's going to be under approximation. Your trapezoid is going to be under. So it really depends on concavity. So once you draw it, you can draw a one partition. You should be able to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, this it says right here, over approximation when f prime of x is greater than 0. Under approximation, it's decreasing. So it kind of give you a breakdown. Oh yeah, trapezoid. Yeah, it did say that. It's right here. Left end, right end, and trapezoid. They give you a lot of different type of approximation justification. You can go back and look at this. It's really based on any of those. Also, this cheat sheet is like the best cheat sheet you can find online, because I make it. Actual integral is the exact area, by the way. Okay, there's a theorems.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb roller coaster.
Oh.
So limit exists when left is equal to right. So that means you can have an open circle. Okay, you can have open circle. So and in Phineas and Ferb, that they roller coaster, there's gaps, right? Sometimes they can jump over things, pretty much. So this just means reach from the left is equal to reach from the left, right? So that is going to give you a connection. It's going to give you an open circle. So limit does exist if it's an open circle. But the next stage is the definition of continuous, because you connect a roller coaster. But if you connect doesn't mean it's a functional. Connect, I can have like if a right angle is connected, but you don't have a roller coaster have a right angle on it. Okay, so that's not good. So they have to be differentiable from both sides. So limit exists only if this first condition and f of a has defined and limit x approaches a equal to f of a. This is definition continuous. Now, how do you say definition differentiable? That means a functional roller coaster. Function is continuous. Look above, which is all the condition, all the things here, and also the prime of x, left and right has to equal to each other.
Well, I don't get the roller coaster metaphor.
Okay, roller coaster metaphor. So can you imagine a roller coaster look like this?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't look like that. Like
So that means that the left side, derivative from the left side and derivative from the right side is not equal to each other. If it's not equal to each other, it's going to be like this, or even like this.
yeah.
It's not good. It has to be completely smooth. So left side is equal to right side. It has to be completely smooth. Yeah,
Derek's on the call, but I know he wanted to. I think he's asleep, so I'm gonna call him really fast. Just
that's fun.
to let you know that.
Okay, mean value theorem. If anytime you apply mean value theorem in FRQ, you have to write down the function is continuous and function is differentiable. Why? Because of this pre-existing condition for mean value theorem. Make sure you write that it's continuous between a and b and it's differentiable between a and b. F of b minus f of a over b minus a.
Too bad that Danny crossed you up.
He's the second whoever said that this is wrong.
Okay, so mean value theorem for integrals. This one usually never tests, but it's still possible. So you just have to find out the x value where the average height, average value, the rate of change happen. So this one is a very rarely test. But intermediate value theorem, I'm gonna increase from this 20% to maybe like 50%. 50% of the time they're gonna ask you intermediate value theorem. And there are 5% of the time they ask you extreme value theorem. And there are 60%, oh, this is wrong. This is not 60%. So intermediate value theorem should be 60% and the Rolle's value should be 20% of the time. Mean value theorem is something that they will ask for sure. I don't know what mean value theorem is. Oh, it's the first one. So this is 60% of the time. Now, this one should be good 40% for intermediate value theorem. And extreme value theorem, they asked once on the 2019. Rolle's value theorem is probably asked 10% of the time. Squeeze theorem, L-Hospital rule.
Okay, actually I need to write those people.
Hospital rule.
Hospital. Sir, can you leave it on? Yeah, thank you. Squeeze game becomes very important. Sir, if you can you show us like a problem that would involve squeeze theorem? Because how can you just tell that it's going to involve?
We did a squeeze theorem on FRQ before.
like 50 million years ago.
No, it's on that practice of last year's practice exam. There's a one that's really difficult. And the last minute has a 3 question. Last minute's worksheet has a 3 question on the first 3 worksheet. Okay, motions. You have to understand the total distance and total displacement.
Uh-huh.
Everything's on the Emoto. You can go back and look at Emoto. Average velocity, there's two different ways. And average acceleration is v of b minus v of a. It's not a. So, and this should be a very standard furthest right and furthest left. There we go. Tips. If it's a how far, don't including the initial condition. Yeah. So there's sometimes you have to know when to initial conditions. Definition of integral, we saw one question yesterday, but I told students not worry about it. And inverse derivative, that's the one I will worry about. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole cheat sheet.
Let's go.
Oh.
There you go.
So you just gave us a 5?
No. That's where you're gonna study off from.
You actually know it? You're kidding.
Okay, so make sure including three things on this cheat sheet. One is integration on the tangent of x and integration of cotangent of x.
Yeah.
Also on the past, there is a notation for derivative I want to show you. Notation of derivative is like this. So sometimes they'll ask you like a different notation, right? I'm going to show you like one of the extended topics, which is they ask you multiple derivative. They will say it's f of x. Let's say f of x equal to cosine of x, right? Cosine of x. And they ask you, what does f of 73 mean? What is 73?
That's like the derivative, right? Like the 73rd derivative.
The 73rd derivative. Okay, so in the past 2 years ago, they asked a question like this. What is 73rd derivative of cosine of x?
Oh, isn't it like you find a pattern?
You find a pattern,
Like
yes.
every 4, right? So you divide it by 4, and then whatever the remainder is, you go by that step in the pattern. The
Exactly,
remainder is 2, then you do the second step in the pattern.
exactly. Good job. So that's equal to negative sine of x. So the first derivative is going to be negative sine of x.
Yeah.
And the second derivative is going to be what?
Negative cosine of x.
It's going to be negative cosine of x, okay.
Then it's going to be sine of x, and then back to cosine.
It's going to be negative cosine of x.
Yes, and then you write 73 apostrophes. So unless you want to write 73 apostrophes.
Okay, so this third derivative is going to be what? Negative sine of, no.
Wait, so you have to...
It's a sine of x, right?
Wait, why?
Oh, using the pattern.
So you divided by 4, right?
The fourth derivative is going to be cosine of x.
It goes to 72, right?
Hmm?
So you're left with 1 over. So you take one derivative, so cosine, third cosine is negative sine. So it's negative sine?
So this one will end up being negative sine of x.
Oh.
So this is one of the weird one that I don't know it will show, but this is one of the weird one people didn't know how to answer from 2 tests ago. There's another weird one that you had to do long division.
Huh?
So that one's kind of odd. Long division. When the numerator polynomial is greater than underneath polynomial, you had to do a long division. Questions about that? Okay, so now we just talk about all the topics, right? The things that you should go back and look at studying, look at all the questions that you've done before and see how those topics match to those. And that's where you know when to react to what things at certain times. So make sure you understand that calc cheat sheet. Very, very, very emphasize on studying that calc cheat sheet to focus on that. So now I'm gonna pose some multiple choice questions here.
Yeah.
In the front,
Three more guys, let's go.
I find a good way to post. So we're gonna let you guys do only the hard questions or not the easy questions.
Only the hard questions.
Oh, you want to do an easy one too?
Yeah.
What about only the easy questions?
Only the easy question? Okay.
Yeah.
I like how we just don't mess with it.
I appreciate
That makes
that
me
very
very
much.
happy.
Nah, that makes me sad. I wanna know more. No, 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 no.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop. You're happy, that's what we're gonna see.
I wanna learn more.
You wanna learn more? Here's that.
Weren't you the one that
extracurricular stuff.
weren't you the one that said you weren't taking DC after this?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I thought you wanted to learn more.
I'm still gonna keep learning.
Okay, so you're still learning this class, not with imaginary numbers. Exactly.
I mean, I learned about imaginary numbers on Friday after school. I watched like 3 hours of content.
Fun.
Yeah. 3 people in row.
3 blue and 1 brown. That's a badass. But you should see the link I sent you. I sent everybody. The guy has the biggest brain.
Yeah.
He's better than 3 blue and 1 brown.
Me?
He's only in college taking calculus. The video the content he pushed out, it blew people's mind. He just he was doing this product role on a calculus, and he find out why Desmo is rendering wrong.
Why what?
Why Desmo is rendering his graph wrong, and he make a whole video about it. And the guy is like a truly on a different level. He built a neural network on Desmos.
Nice.
You know what's neural network, right? To recognize images, right? He built a neural network on Desmos. This guy is truly, truly phenomenal.
Literally for fun, I watch videos about like.
No, you gotta watch this guy's content. It's called John Does Stuff.
Scholar, I think.
Yeah, I watch.
And he only have 500 subscribers. And this guy's content is like worth million subscriber.
You should like contact him. It's like set up as a library.
Huh?
You should contact him.
No, this guy is a truly I can see usually I spot a genius, I can see them. This guy is truly genius. I'm compared to anybody, this guy is probably the smartest human being alive.
Like John Green type beat.
No, John Green is an idiot.
Damn.
Okay, so let's pick a question for you guys to do.
Yeah.
The Chrissy White guy from
Wait, what?
Did you know that?
Okay, let's do question 7.
Crash Course?
Yeah, the guy from Crash Course wrote the Fault in Our Stars.
He wrote The Fault in Our Stars?
Cancer love stories.
What the?
John Green. It makes me
Sir? Did
What?
you know this?
I didn't know that.
Did it? It looks says John.
Yeah, I am John Green.
Yeah.
Are you no? Because the way he said it was like, no, I didn't know that. And this content-
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
The Fault in Our Stars.
What is that?
It's this cancer love story where the guy dies at the end.
Wow, way to ruin the book.
Spoilers.
Everybody knows the guy dies.
Okay, I pose a question here, multiple choice question.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Guys, easy multiple choice question. Come on. Oh, my bad. I didn't share screen. Let me share screen.
I went through so many tissues when I watched the movie.
It wasn't that good.
But
though.
it's because I'm the same.
Genuinely emotional.
You know what? I'm just gonna share this. On Emoto.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna share it on Emoto. You guys can pick any question to do and help out with each other.
No, yeah. The good thing with that. This specific class you can't do it.
She hates me whenever I say that.
You guys said it the other day. She like gave this. She like. And she said, "You think you're your little friend, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah." What the frick, Benji?
No, I said that too. But
It was.
Is that your history? Oh my god.
Benji?
Bro, I love the video.
Benji?
My god.
Okay, I post on Emoto. You can practice any question. You can practice backward. You can practice anyway.
Alright, teamwork makes the dream work. That's
Yeah,
it.
he is.
no, I asked him more.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't.
Oh,
But, I'll show you. Excuse me, my good sir.
It's funny, so-
Dude, my computer's about to snap out.
Oh, I forgot. I don't want to mess with that.
think I need more tape.
20
Oh, dude.
Look, turn it around.
It's a lot.
Turn it around for a second.
David, so what happens if you?
What did you do? Like, how do you even turn it on?
I just felt.
You just press the button.
No, thanks for that. I'm like, how is it still alive?
This guy will fall in line.
Okay, let's do some questions. Is there just any questions?
Garrison's going to the hospital.
What?
To get it checked
Dude,
out.
how bad did you? Oh my god, bro, you didn't chill with that 360 backspin.
Improvement in life.
Garrett's going to the hospital right now. To get his liver checked out. Jesus,
You broke his ankle?
I'm not serious.
Oh my
I
god.
think I took the phrase breaking ankles too seriously. What?
What'd you do?
He did a 360 backspin on the 450 times.
We were playing basketball, dude was trying to defend me and
Like, oh my
No,
god.
this is like a thing.
I know that, but like, no concept.
I got that.
Sleep like at 7.
Thank you.
I woke up at 10.
what are you doing?
Which one? I think it
Seven
was
number
right.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you are.
I need your guidance.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. You can see the computer.
No, we're starting at number one.
Oh my god.
What?
You literally can see the inside of the computer.
David?
It's disgusting. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Cause I was feeling it.
All right, get to work, guys.
Let me see.
Huh?
I posted a multiple choice question on it
Where? Oh.
on Edmodo.
There.
I'm just doing the thing you did before.
Yeah, I think I need more tape. But
I watch stuff like this before.
why?
What's wrong with the application that
Dude,
you
what are you doing in your free time?
learn?
No, you have too much free time.
I learn. No, I don't. The thing is, I don't do homework. Instead, I watch education videos.
What a nerd.
No, teamwork makes a dreamer, bro.
No, did you watch that video?
The video that you shared with me?
Yeah.
No, I haven't actually.
You watch it now. You will like it. You will see. You will learn to admire what truly geniuses look like.
Yeah.
This guy just basically take x minus x sine of x, and you take a derivative, and you graph on Desmos, and then he find out what's wrong with Desmos just by looking at it, by his intuition, the gut intuition. This guy had the intuition, it was a different level.
Do you have tape?
No.
You don't have tape?
Why does everybody ask me about tape?
Because tape is such a convenient thing to have.
I don't have.
How do you have tape?
I don't have to have a tape.
Sir, you have Ritz crackers. You have a method all-purpose sanitizer, but you don't have tape.
No.
Yeah.
So Danny, what you're
Ow.
telling me? You don't watch. You don't watch.
All right, come on, get to work, Benji.
Okay, what are we working on? What do we have time for? You want to work on the calculator section?
Calculator section, bro. You're funny. I'm kidding. What do you want to do?
Is it calculator section?
What do
We don't have
you-
time for the
what do
whole
you
non-calculator
want
section.
to do?
You do. Work at Fast B.
What do you want to do, my love?
For sure.
Yep.
What's the answer to
What?
What's the answer?
I can tell you the answer. Give me a second.
Better. You know, Portuguese is the same thing, but you pronounce the L later. Get better. Yeah. Wait, so you don't want to do the non-calculator?
I don't know if we have time.
Fine.
Want to speed run it?
Let me have
What'd you get for answer for 2?
Non-calculator?
Huh?
We're gonna speed run it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-calculator is 56 minutes long.
Yeah, he gives us like 36 minutes.
No, that's for the calculator section.
I said we're doing the calculator section.
We're doing the calculator section?
Oh my god.
Alright, bet,
I
bet,
thought you
bet.
said non-calculated.
Benji, you ready?
Hold on, I gotta get this.
Calculator section?
What page? What page?
32. Oh, wait, you have, yeah, just said 32.
Okay, yeah? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you should be able to breathe through the first 30 questions. Try to do 30 question in 30 minutes.
What?
Wait,
No,
what?
thank you.
Sir, who do you think we are?
Sir, you're funny.
Who do you think we are?
I'm doing the calculator section.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you know when you're doing the quotient rule,
Uh-huh.
do you need to like
send me some.
distribute the negative sign to all of them?
To after, yeah, whatever after.
So F prime is gonna be slope. So it's gonna be.
Whatever come after the negative sign, you have to distribute it.
So whatever it has to switch signs
So
essentially.
D?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, D looks right.
Yeah, it's least from greatest. That's literally what I've been trying to work out the whole time. The greatest leader, least the greatest.
Yeah.
But the conquer
Yeah, so 3,
No, 3, 0, 50.
it's positive 0,
3,
0,
0,
yep.
Alright, 77. HX equals half calculator. Oh, that's the same thing. Integral.
You say integral or integral?
Integral is weird.
No, integral is a
The
different
Siri
word.
makes fun of me for saying integral.
Integral is
Say it like that then.
I don't know.
Yo, when something is integral to a system, that means it's a vital part of it. And the integral is a number.
Oh, that is.
The HX be an antiderivative.
Oh, look, that's the one sounds like a calculated question again. That's H.
Yeah, I forgot we can use calculators. Oh, thank God.
Oh, this is the freaking this is the fundamental thing it's
Yes,
talking about.
but then I changed it.
So the integration of number of 2 to 5 of this is equal to h of 5 minus h of 2, that stuff. And then h of 5 is pi, so then you put the h of 5 on the other side, it would be like pi minus this integral equals h of 2.
Oh.
Yeah, no, but you did it right.
Remember? Remember fundamental thing?
Oh, interesting. I think I get you.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be integration from
2 to 5.
2 to 5, and then
You
you,
have the question back.
and then you do
It's
5
equal to
minus that number, right?
5 minus
Yeah.
2, yeah. And then, oh yeah, sorry, 5 minus that.
Number 3, I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, so pi minus that number, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I don't know. Lodi hai my side, you don't blow.
Integration.
2 and 3 are
Let's feature.
Two to
You
five.
can Benji, you have a charger?
I do, but I'm sure.
Alright.
Pi.
Because
So
when
it's
we
pi
minus 5
minus the
say
integration.
again?
No, it's pi minus the
Pi
integration.
minus the integration.
Why, yeah, why would you?
So negative 5.867. Yeah, because h of 5 is pi, is the total.
But then
And
you
then
do
5 h of
but
2
you
is
remove.
just a portion of that.
Oh, because minus h of 2, you're right. Yeah.
Pi is the big 5. And then you gotta subtract the 3 to be able to say this.
What'd you guys get?
I know.
Andrea, what'd you get?
Wait, I wrote the number wrong.
Ben, you got it right?
I thought I got a different answer than you did.
No, it's the integration.
No, you do integration, don't you just? I guess you do integration.
Because remember, this is the
He
same
was
thing.
like, sir, I'm a fail the exam. I literally was like, I'll do your work. I'll literally finish it. I finished it. I finished my
So then if I h of 2, you move this. Oh, sorry.
I missed the.
Hi, how are you?
Move this on the other side, maybe pause it, move this on the other side.
So I didn't want to like.
You don't want to like pick up the bush.
Yeah, but that day she doesn't look in a good mood.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? If she wasn't happy, she's smiling, then I would have asked for it.
Wait, so when you say sponsored, you mean literally pay?
Yeah.
What's in my study guide?
Like all of it?
No, it's because.
And he's like, 15 pizza? I was like, yeah, sure, 15 pizza.
Wait, how much pieces were you like gonna get originally?
Huh?
Wasn't C.
For which one?
Mr. Ye, I'm eating a lot more than just one. So
Okay.
no.
Number 2 is B.
Wait, dang. I read something here.
You just have to factor out a 3 and do your substitution.
Okay, good.
What?
Like, how did they get B if you're supposed to factor out the 3? Like, what did they do with
There's 2 ways to do it. One is this. Yeah, du over 3, that's fine. Wait, du over 3, so it's 1, 3.
Forcing himself over to go out all the way to my
No, I
house.
know, but I don't know if you looked at the.
This why pass the test. He's the same. He says.
Hold on, let me see your way. 3 dx.
Because only the ankles will not be higher foot. And like,
Oh, okay, so.
walk on his own is that.
So I did it different. So I do integration of 1/3 of x plus 4 dx. Is that I take out 1/3 outside, so it's just gonna be 1/3 natural log of x plus 4 plus c. If I do use substitution, then because du is equal to dx. But let me see what's wrong with this one, because it doesn't.
Because I took out the 1/3 for the du/3. I took the 3 out. And then, but then it would be absolute value of 3x plus 12. But in all the answers, it was x plus 4, so they factored out the 3.
Yeah, I factor out 3. So let me see, 1/3 du/3, so 1/3 natural log of 1/3 natural log
X is greater than 0. So x equals 0 is equal to
3
1.
times x plus 4, and ln of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
No, wait, no, the continuous
So
function is positive,
let's
it's
look,
probably
let's
coming
look
from up.
at what it's saying, though, like what's your statement to be true, let's try it.
So I'm thinking 0 to the right is positive infinity, like the first part of A, that sounds right.
Positive, oh, shoot, on the right side?
I think it's C.
That doesn't sound right, that's not it.
I think it's C.
du/u natural log of u, 1/3.
What?
Uh,
78.
you cannot take out 3 like that.
What?
You cannot take out this 3 outside the natural log. That's not possible.
So you can't do use substitution for that question?
You can, but the best way is use substitution, take out 1/3
Yeah.
and do this way.
Like do it at the...
Because
At the
yeah, here
beginning.
u equal to x plus 4, du is equal to dx. And then you just do natural log of x plus 4. So it's 2 steps. So it's much more efficient than here, because here you gotta cancel out a 3.
It's the main, it's greater than 0, but it doesn't say.
But I,
But like still if you did that way, you still get the ln x plus 4, or absolute value of x plus 4. Because you took it out in the beginning and then you would still take out the 3
No, I know,
for
that's what I'm
the
saying,
du/3.
that's why I'm saying that I don't think that it's gonna be that.
1/3 ln of 3
From the right side.
plus
And I'm saying, like,
1/3 ln
this
of
is
x
right, this is
plus
here.
4,
So this was.
and 1/3
Going here, right?
natural log of 1/3.
No, but it's just the function f is positive, because I'm saying that it, again, the main is gonna be positive, that's all good, we don't have anything over here.
It also says the function itself is positive.
Yeah, so it can't be.
I just do this, it's so much natural, but I don't know what's wrong with here. I cannot see it. 1/3.
Does it have to be like that though? Can it be like this?
No,
Or not?
not for this.
Wait, let me think about it. Let me write down. I'm gonna use my pencil. I'll think about. I'll get back. But this is probably the fastest way.
Okay.
I just did the fastest way, but I don't know why the other way is not come out right.
Like, I'm just saying like, instead of that, it can't be this.
Instead of what?
Oh no, you're right, because
That's
it can't,
right.
you're right.
Because that's how,
Because then
if it has a
then
vertical
it would
oscillator
stop.
x equals 0, it has to run across so that.
Then it would stop here.
Oh my god, I decided
Yeah,
that.
you're right. That's not continuous either. You continue with, or.
Okay, 79.
Mister, I got B for 4.
What?
Okay, rate. So f of t is rate, which is derivative.
I don't know. I didn't do it. But you guys can verify each other.
I got B as
Just
well.
following the multiplication of f times
So
five.
f prime is the acceleration.
Yeah.
So at times equals b.
At time t equals, yeah.
Yeah, it's b.
Yep.
Anyway, 80. Function f is first derivative given
Yo,
by-
that's it, that's cake because it's gonna take it for second per second. You need to look at the thing per second. Oh,
Oh,
Alright, we good? It's for it. It's for it.
Minus 12x minus 8, right?
Hmm?
Yeah, so you just factor out 4. And then get x cubed minus 12x minus 8. Or x cubed minus 3x
I'm not
minus
gonna factor
2.
x cubed. I'm not gonna factor x cubed.
Yeah. So all we gotta do for
Copy club. That's a negative 1.
guys, why is my thing with that?
That's what?
Why is it that plus and pos thing on the corner?
Huh?
What is that? I'm afraid.
Yeah, I feel like isn't it 2 pi plus 5?
Yo, that's a TA.
Mister, yeah, what does this mean?
I got negative 1.
My calc, you see it next to y1 and y2 has a little like that play and pause thing. What does that mean?
Actually, don't know.
I don't know how that got there. I clicked on it and it says transform,
No, it would be like
and like
Oh wait, it just has
I can change it, but
yeah,
that's play pause. That's forward or something. That's play. I don't get that. I don't know what that is.
Well, I think they want to do like what Desmos does. So go ahead and graph x squared. I don't know. You want me to reset it?
oh, it's A.
I mean, sure.
Second plus 712. So they will go back to normal.
Yay!
But I don't know how. I don't even know how you change it to there.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from either. Okay, well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay,
always
we're good. Hey. What?
Alright.
Mister is 14A.
14, let me see.
81.
14.
You guys are living on 14, aren't you?
to the following the graph of the and negative.
So integration
A 14 is the CKT one.
So yeah, okay. This
They said time equals 0, 102. So 120
This is the graph of f.
Yeah, but this is the derivative of the
e to the k 1 equal to 124.
It should start with a negative slope, change to the positive, and theory.
You said it's an n negative 2, right?
Yeah, which is C or D.
D still, the D ends up in positive. It's still over.
No, it's negative.
Oh,
We're looking at the
slope.
slope.
Well, then you look at what other stuff? Slope, there's maximum as well.
30.
So we can look at this one. So if we look at F, at negative 1.5, the slope should be 0. At negative 1.5, the slope should be 0. Okay, now that's understood. So it should have the most
Let me get a pencil.
highest slope at 1, negative 1 and 1.
Shouldn't there be like a minimum
Y dy dt equal to ky, where k is a constant. At t equal to 0, the weight of the yeast is 120 gram. Increase at rate is 124. So 120 times e to the kt 1 equal to 144. So 144 over 120 is equal to e to the k. So 6 over 5.
Turn this baby on.
Natural log of 6 over 5 equal to that.
Yeah, so absolute value would be 18.
65. Okay, so then
It's just the integration of 0 to 2, as the absolute value would be 18.
e to the
Alright, yeah,
120 e to the natural log of 6 over 5
He says the funniest thing. What's it, Justin? He
t.
like, do you want to hang out?
I'm like, don't laugh underneath the mask, he can hear you.
No, I just laughed. I was like, I don't care. He looked at me too. I was like,
There's only 2 people in my class.
catching my drift? Really?
Yeah.
Our class is so
Oh,
full.
wait, just a tip. This is always gonna be the most accurate thing. Is it math, fraction, that is always gonna be the most accurate thing. Because that can mess up. Yeah, I would just make sure that you spread it.
Oh, I forgot the sign in there.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so stupid. The sign is stupid. And then. 2.261. D?
He does say some pretty funny things, to be honest.
That's what you guys got?
Mitchell was taking AP Calc online.
Oh, he's gonna freaking
I
die.
told him
That's
you're
idiot
gonna
move.
die.
That's a big dog.
They get A for
Does he want the credit or something?
He said it looks good on you.
How do you
D?
Yep, yeah.
When he fails, he's
Oh.
How
glad.
do you get a No, that two's gonna look great on his
This
credit.
one's the one line.
Wait,
Wait, what did you guys make for 7?
We're actually on
X.
Sorry, I made a mistake on 6 and I have to redo it.
Like it's 10.
Okay, wait, so that's the derivative.
7?
Yeah, so we're just
So we just grab that bottom and switch it from positive.
What'd you say? Give me a second. Give me a second.
Then you don't redo this crap. 125
Okay,
minus.
so
Do the fraction thing.
x cubed
I refuse. Wait, ready?
Oh, wait,
minus 8x squared plus
never mind.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't come out with that. Let me see.
crazy.
Okay, one.
You're doing the window thing?
Like, what do you plug in the? I thought maybe someone. Like after you.
0.638.
What did you want for time? Wait, no, but did you do that right?
The zero thing on
Oh, you just add them. Yeah. Oh my god. Right here, we got different answers, right? Oh, okay.
Here's the left.
Zero point six three eight.
Yeah.
8-4. You got the same thing?
Can I see what you guys did for 6?
I feel like, oh,
Can I see what you did for 6? Oh, you just do F of B minus F of A. I know, but mathematically I'm doing something wrong.
bacteria.
Half one.
I don't read.
Yeah, take derivative of the top.
That's cake, we do the same thing with the
It's just
score.
one third.
It's just
We did it wrong.
I don't
It's
get well. Take derivative of the
I have a question. I don't know what
The
to
normal
use.
way.
big.
Interval goes from here. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. I didn't know whether to use F B minus F of A or the one in my interval.
Yeah, it's 3 equals 5.
The function b continuous my closed interval 1, 4 with g minus 5 g equals to 1 condition.
Okay, that's average change. That's average value.
Prime
That's
is
average. And then after this,
Thank you.
okay.
So because you switch.
So this is
Okay, sorry.
in,
And then you leave off. This is what this. Oh my god. Thank you. Okay, I don't have a copy from you guys. I really just put
Would it just be a?
So it'd be like,
No, I just severed
If
green.
g is increasing, then it has to be
Numbers.
numbers.
or G prime C is equal to
No,
one.
So positive should increasing, so wouldn't it be a?
would it be B?
Dude, me?
Would it be B? Yeah.
Is it B?
Because it's differentiable and it's continuous. If it's just increasing between 1 to 4, if C is a negative value, then it might not hit C. So it needs to be continuous. The condition that it's increasing doesn't necessarily guarantee that there's C there.
Oh, you're inspired by the things we
You know what I
did.
mean?
Huh?
not gonna lie, I see the word differential and I just kind of ignore it. Differential means. So if you have between 1 and 4, if it's like increasing, and this is the C that we're looking for right here, just because it's increasing doesn't necessarily guarantee that C is 0.
No, it's just saying that there is a point C where the slope is equal to 1. A point, not just saying.
Yeah. But for example, if like, if it starts maybe at like 5, because we don't know where it starts. If it starts at 5, then it's not gonna be 1. So like, if it hits, anyway, if it starts above,
Oh, the answer is B.
G of C is, like where C is, if it starts above, we don't necessarily guarantee that it's gonna cross.
Yeah, but that's not what it's saying. It's saying that C is gonna, it's just on your point.
We only can,
the slope is gonna equal 1.
yeah, but it's actually the machine that guarantees that C. Increasing doesn't guarantee.
Wait, how did you get to
The only thing
B?
that guarantees that C is there is that it's differential.
Yeah, I got a different answer than they did too. I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, you can just
Differential is, am I missing something? The weight, the east pocket increasing according to dy dt k is constant, t equal to 0, weight of the east.
You get this and this. You get x minus 1 equals this, all you need, and then this two, all you need is the same.
Oh, I see what I did wrong. So 120 equal to C E of 0. No, I don't see what I did wrong. So 120.
Well, no, it's not exactly the same. If x equals like 0 for this, that doesn't actually get it to 0 for this graph. It gets it to 0 for this graph.
You know, but yeah.
I think you're right.
I have different answer. I got 120 e to the natural log 6 over 5 times t, but it doesn't have that. I don't know what the.
It's not the black one. It's the blue and the red one. It's F and G. Make it see.
Okay.
Why did
F of x is blue, g of x is red, and then what do you call it?
Isn't it red and blue?
Huh?
Because even though blue types
Let me
is
see.
identical over, but doesn't that make it zero?
Yeah, it says
You're
negative,
right.
it's negative, negative.
You're right, you're right.
So
So,
it should be red and red and blue.
yeah.
Not black.
Wait.
Black is blue.
Let me see if it. The one that we okay.
Yeah, so blue has 2 points in inflection. Red has 2 points in inflection. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4 points in inflection. Yeah, so red and blue is the first one.
Guys, get to work. Shafa, get to work.
87 is
So wait, so which other answer we got?
See, I think it's B.
Is it because K is like 24 over 120, which is 1 over 5?
K is a natural log of 6 over 5 because I said 144 is y and 120 is a c, and you solve it, it's going to be 6 over 5 e to the k. So it's going to be natural log of 6 over 5. So k is natural log of 6 over 5.
And concave, yeah, concave log would be.
Which means it should be increasing by, decreasing by smaller values.
So it goes from.
Unless, hold on a second. I mean, look at this.
No, minus 2, yeah.
Interesting. I don't know how they come up with this.
When you find the derivatives and then find the like when the derivative of the second one is equal to the derivative of the first one when it's equal to 2.
Still a lot of words.
I did.
Well, you did graph first, right?
Natural log of x squared.
Guys, focus on the question. You guys have like 24 hours. Less than 24 hours, like 20 hours.
Mister,
Yeah, just focus on whatever you have in front of you, but not focus on other things.
Oh, okay, hold on. Take a look at this.
Can I not have fun in this class? No. Can I make it fun for myself?
No. So hold on, so this is what. So this.
YT.
Yeah. Cause I did like only way I'm not supposed to, but I got 0.448, and that's very close to 0.447. So I'm gonna go with C. I did the complete wrong way for that, though. So I feel like I probably should make some answers and probably confuse it. Still about thinking outside the box. Sir, do you have the answer for these questions?
Which one?
Can you tell me if 88 is C?
It's tangent to the G. I need a calculator.
Yeah, because I'm not really entirely. I know I did it the wrong way, but I think I got the right answer.
None of my calculators working. Oh, there is.
Yeah, he's got stacks of calculators ready.
Oh, it's out of battery. Let me read the question. Let G be the FB function defined f of x. Let G be a function of that. Line of tangent at x equal to 2 is a
Oh,
parallel.
yeah, that's what I should have done to get the exact number.
Okay, let me see your calculator.
Yeah. Because I did.
I don't know. I didn't do it, so.
I did something very random.
I'll tell you the answer though.
But it worked for me, so. I don't know.
So, first of all, I did. Sorry, I got rid of this.
No!
So, they say at G parallel to the line. Oh, so I see what you're saying. So, if you just parallel to the line, so that's gonna be derivative of that, so it'll be 2x over x squared plus 1. And you're gonna plug in 2, so it'll be 4 over 5.
She got an answer though.
So the slope has to be equal to 4 over 5. So I'm taking derivative, so it'll be 5x to the 4th plus 3x squared. And that has to be equal to 4 over 5. So I set 4x4 plus 3x squared minus 4 over 5. And I'll just graph this function. So it'll be 5x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 4 over 5. So I graph it. Okay, second calc 0.
I went wrong because I copied that question.
0.447, see?
Oh, I did get it right! Thank you, sir. Oh, I see what you did. Okay, we got the answer.
Plus 3x squared.
And yeah, how we do it, you have to do it right away.
Minus 4 over 5.
88 is a pretty cool question.
Yeah.
Good job, Danny.
Thank you. I did it the total wrong way. I mean, I like overcomplicated.
I don't think you did it the wrong way. I think just you did it way too complicated.
Yeah, I overcomplicated it like way too much.
Not A. But
I was about to say.
Let's go.
And,
Alright, so what are you saying? So,
what you do is you.
well, yeah, what way did you do it? Because I did it a weird way.
The way Mr. Ian did it, the way I did it was overcomplicated, so I'm not gonna explain you my way. The way Mr. Ian did it, you took the derivative of the first one.
Yeah.
you get 2x over x squared plus 1, you plug in 2, so then you end up with
Yeah,
negative
that's
5.
what I did, yep.
Then you take the second.
I can't figure out 14. I don't know why.
14, I'll figure it out, sorry.
14, say less, sir.
14.
Say less, sir. Say less.
No, I must look at something wrong.
Wait, Mister, I think I got it.
Okay, you got an answer? Can you show me how to work? 6e to the k. Do you get k is equal to natural log of 6 over 5?
No, K I got 24 over 120, and then C I got 120.
C got 120 for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. So that's 120. But how did you get 1 over 5?
Okay, so dy dt, they said the rate is 24, so I put that 24 is equal to 120k
Oh,
because y is 120.
24 is equal to what?
120k. Like dy
120K.
dt is equal to k times y. So then k would be
Oh,
equals to 24.
yeah, I misread this question. Good job. Yep, no, you're right. You're right. Because the other way I did it, I plug in different value, I find out it's wrong. So yeah, this way you will find. Yeah, that's good. Good job. You did something I cannot do. Good job.
What's the answer for the 14, sir?
You gotta work it out.
No, but because we think we.
What you got?
No, but I asked you first.
No, what you got?
Yeah, you want to know what you think, sir?
No, I know the answer. I just didn't know how to get it.
Because
No, but Trent teach me. So.
What we were thinking is like, because the way it says it is that k is a constant. So if the derivative is a constant, then it shouldn't be an exponential slope, which means it was kind of confusing for the ones that had e to the t power because that'd be exponential.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have exponential if the derivative is like a constant. If the derivative is ky and they say k is a constant.
So what's your answer?
What? Would it be d? No? It's not d? So has to be e involved? But how is it an exponential graph? He doesn't know either. So what is the answer?
According to the scoring guideline is B.
B? Yeah, I think that's wrong, sir. I think they use the wrong letter, sir.
They have a B.
They use the wrong letter. That is not right.
Yeah, that wording is bad. I don't like the wording.
Go ahead, say it. Say it,
How did that get stuck in there?
That's been stuck in there.
So, this is
For
what
like
I
ever?
asked for.
Oh, wait, what? You see, I knew what I was doing. Okay, yeah.
Usually this happens tomorrow, and I'm sure the bubble is small. I'm gonna lose time on bubbling.
You guys, if you want to work on, if you guys finish your class at whatever third period, and ask your teacher permission, you can come back here to work or whatever. It's up to you.
Wait, so you're gonna open Zoom on third
Yeah,
period
I'll
too?
keep it Zoom open.
Oh, okay.
You want to finish? Or yeah, you'll be able to go to bed.
Dude, I have the exam during my AP.
Bye, mister.
Alright. So like you're taking the freaking today.
I think it's safe for Derek because Derek is a kid. So I think tomorrow.
Yours, bro.
You gotta take. So I probably gonna take it at home.
Where are we going?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I usually have to.
Well, we guys can't what? I assume this chair is here. Who's that?
So I'll keep the Zoom open. If you guys have a question, you can ask me through there
It's
too.
gonna be a long ass Zoom call.
Huh?
That's gonna be a long ass Zoom call by the end of the day.
We're gonna ace that test.
I pay
right?
for it.
We're gonna ace that test.
Huh?
You're paying for it?
Yeah, I pay for the Zoom.
No, but I'm feeling pretty good for the test, honestly.
Bye, mister.
Bye.
Sir, we got that right.
Hopefully.
Alright. Where's the face, sir? You're supposed to.
Adios.
Bye.
Are we good?
Yeah,
Good?
we
Good?
do.
Huh?
Good?
Yeah.
Alright, have a good day, sir.
Adios.
Thanks. My pants are coming today. Which one?
Mister, can I go to the bathroom really quick?
Wait, did I show you this in an accent? I dislocated my leg today.
Girl, what?
Yeah. This is why being heels don't hold long.
Huh?
Just kidding. I think it's no, I was literally like this. I just went,
Oh, like that?
yeah, and I was
I
wearing
was
heels.
like, what's going on? Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, Mr. J?
Good.
When is your planet day?
7.
Oh, it's 7? Oh, yeah, like, okay, no
What's
problem.
up? What can I do for you?
No, question. Do we have a final exam? Do we have a CFE? Or we have...
We do have.
Are we doing it?
Huh?
Are we doing it?
I'm not doing it, but we do have.
Okay.
Because
Can
I
come
forgot.
back there? Can I come back there in that thing?
Yeah.
Yes?
We do have because the senior is taking it, right?
That's what I'm gonna know if I'm giving to them or not, so I'll come back there.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah, I'll ask them.
Thank you, sir.
It's stupid though because they didn't cover half the material, and I'm not gonna ask my student to take it.
Yeah, but I'll come back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm posting. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is last few days I'm gonna because this is all 2-hour blocks and the senior is supposed to be testing and me and Adacalcus talking about whether we should do testing or not, but I don't think I am, but then because the material that we're gonna be talking about is much bigger. So there's no point to give out that test. Everybody's just gonna Christmas treat it. But instead, I want to give a project for you guys. This project is gonna be involved with Desmos. So you're gonna have to think about things. It's gonna be a competition. And I'm thinking about when it's competition, people will I'm gonna pick a 5 winner. Okay, so this 5 winner will have I cannot give you cash, but I can give you a gift card. And people at home, I can send it to you. It's not a lot. I'm thinking about $10. Yeah, I can afford 50. Sorry. so it's not it's not a big deal. So it's $10 for top 5 winner of all my pre-calc student. I'm putting in the competitions. And we're gonna have other people judge it, because if it's me, then it's gonna be biased. So we're gonna other people look at this, and we're gonna say, who do you think the best winner is? The whole idea is I want you guys to learn different things, to challenge yourself to different materials. I have one student got accepted to Georgia Tech a while back. So the last time I did this competition was 8 years ago. That 8 years ago, I have this competition, and the kids actually go out and do the competition. Now, you cannot copy other people's code, because when you did something extraordinary, I know, because you probably go look up online and probably go copy some other's code. But the idea is I want you to use whatever you learn in this class. So that's going to be something that's very helpful, is whatever you learn in this class. So if you go to, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to tell you what you have learned throughout this class. Give me a second. So you guys have to log in to Google, okay? And you guys gonna enter the code is YVQ29U. So let me write down for you. I'm gonna write down for you. And you're gonna use your name and log in, and you have to log into Google first. So first of all, you have to use your Google account. And basically, the idea is hold on, student.desmo. Let me. So you're gonna go to student.desmos. And I'm gonna show you some illustration of what other people did. So okay, student.desmo. Okay, and the code is gonna be YVQ29U. And you go in, you should see the first one is a practice. Second slide is your rubric. So you can look at the second slide. So we're going to talk about the first slide. So I see all the people join: Jackie, Brian, Miriam, Kathia. Yeah, what did you guys see the first screen? Do you see a graphing calculator screen?
No, it's just a blank page.
Yeah, same for me.
And there was nothing after that? Okay, so let me change that a little bit. Maybe there's something wrong. Let me see that in a second. I doubt, maybe I didn't save it, so let me try again. Oh, you didn't save. Great. Okay, well, let me try to. Oh, it didn't publish. So let me publish first. What do you see? Do you see, can you refresh to see?
It looks the same.
Same for me as well.
Okay, then let me temporarily get rid of this. I'm gonna give you a new link. Try this link, see if you got it better. 4CEH7Q. Just redo again and type in the new code. What do you see? You should see 3 slides in there.
It doesn't work for me. Like the code doesn't show up at all.
4CEH7Q.
Yeah, like I hit join and it just brings me back to the home screen.
4CE7Q. Okay, then how about this? But I see student join. You guys joined the class, right?